Today, we're talking about interfacing, what it is, why it's important, and how to use it properly. Did you ever have a project that just turned out too flimsy or you need a really sharp, crisp color? If so, this video is for you. Let's dive in. Interfacing is added to your fabric to add structure and stability. It is added to waistbands or collars or button plackets. It prevents things from stretching or adds extra stability and firmness to that area. There's two main ways to add interfacing to your fabric. There's fusible interfacing and sew-in interfacing. I tend to like fusible interfacing, all of the ones I have, that's what it is. On the back side, there's a little adhesive. I can feel it sort of bumpy. So when I put this down on my fabric, that would be the adhesive side to the wrong side of the fabric. Then I go to the iron, and the heat of the iron will make it adhere to the fabric. The other way is sew-on interfacing. So you would need to cut out the piece exactly the same as your fabric piece, and then you would sew around the perimeter so it all becomes one piece. It also comes in different weights. So there's a lightweight interfacing, a medium weight, or a heavy weight. Typically, you would want to match the weight of your interfacing to the weight of your fabric. So if you have a chiffon, you would use a very lightweight. But something like a button placket, you might want something a little bit on the heavier side, even though your fabric might be light, because you want that to be very structured in that location. Or the same with the collar. You could have a lightweight fabric, but you want a very firm collar. So I wouldn't go with a lightweight interfacing. Otherwise, it's just not going to give enough structure. So those are two things you need to think about: the weight of your fabric and also where you're putting it and how much structure and stability you want in that part of the garment. It's always best to test a small amount first, just to see if it's giving you the structure and how it's behaving with your fabric before you do your entire garment. And the third thing you need to think about for your interfacing is whether it's woven or stretch. I have both. Woven interfacing would go with a woven fabric. There would be no stretch in either. But when you have a knit fabric that, or any kind of even a cotton with some stretch in it, you need to use a knit interfacing. So it has a similar stretch as your garment fabric. It's quite important. Otherwise, your outer fabric would want to stretch and your interfacing wouldn't. So that would not be a good thing. So definitely pay attention to your outer fabric. I have a variety of interfacing here. I typically don't use it that much. You don't need that big of a piece typically. So it's good to have a variety, or just make sure when you're working on a project that you pick the thing that matches your fabric. A very common question is, when do I apply my interfacing? And the answer is right at the beginning of the project. It's important to get the pieces of your garment that you want to interface, whether it's a waistband or if it's a collar, to add that interfacing when everything is flat. It makes it so much easier. This step is also included in my order of construction freebie, which outlines the best sequence to follow for smooth sewing. The link for the free download is in the description below. So remember, cut your fabric, apply interfacing, and then start sewing. Let's adhere this interfacing to my cotton here. So I chose a woven interfacing that was medium weight because I have a woven fabric that's medium weight. So that's what I'm going to do. So we have the right side of the fabric here, and I'm going to apply the interfacing to the wrong side. And you can feel the interfacing. This is like a little like sort of pebbly, rough texture. That's where the adhesive is, on that side. So make sure you're doing it on the right side, the adhesive side goes down. I always use a press cloth when I'm doing interfacing. And if you did inadvertently have your interfacing going the other direction, at least it's only going to attach to the press cloth and not your iron. So that is a good precaution. But I always tend to use a press cloth. If you want to make this a little damp, that's fine as well. So I didn't mention that you can see I trimmed the interfacing about a 1/4 inch smaller the whole way around than my pattern piece that is in the fashion fabric. That allows less bulk in the seam allowances. So I think it's always a good thing to do that. So I'm going to put the press cloth over, and then I'm going to just press. We want to make sure we're not moving the iron back and forth, because then it could shift the interfacing. We want to hold it here, something like maybe 20 seconds. The instructions on your interfacing will give you the time that you should hold it to make sure that it adheres. After you feel like it is adhering, I'm going to move it and put it in the next spot here. And patience for this is, very, very important. I am using a little bit of weight. I'm pressing down slightly to give it a little bit extra weight. You don't have to press very hard or anything, but I always like to make sure that it's adhering properly. Then I'm going to move on to the last bit here. Press down. Okay, then when you feel that it is perhaps done, I'm going to pull the press cloth off. And what I do is I just go where I'm not going to move it, because you definitely want it to cool before you move the piece. But I tend to just go around the corners and see if any of the edges are not pressed down, but this feels good. It's all completely pressed down. So I'm just going to let it sit there until it's cool, and then I can pick it up and continue on. But patience is vital at this point. Let's talk about how to use sew-it interfacing. I don't have any of that since I don't prefer to use it. I like the adhesive one, but it's very simple to use. You would just cut the pattern piece out from both your self fabric as well as your interfacing, so they're exactly the same. You will pin your interfacing to the wrong side of the pattern piece, and then you will stitch along the perimeter of the piece within the seam allowance. This is really great though to use for fabrics that don't handle heat well, perhaps like velvet or something like that. You would want to use a sew-in interfacing. I do use some fabrics that don't handle the heat well, like anything polyester. You have to use a very low heat, and I also use a press cloth. So that's how I get around. I'm still able to use the adhesive interfacing, but I just have to take my time. It takes a little longer to adhere because I can't get the iron up that hot. Here's some quick troubleshooting tips to help you along the way. If you're getting bubbles in your interfacing, your iron may be too hot, or you may be moving your iron around too much as you are pressing. And that is the key, is you want to press the interfacing down, not iron it, which is the back and forth motion. You definitely don't want to do that. And if you find that your interfacing is puckering, perhaps your interfacing may be too stiff for your project. And definitely check out the washing instructions for your interfacing. If you have a sew-in interfacing, you may need to pre-wash it, because you definitely don't want it to shrink after you've inserted it into your garment. That would really cause a lot of problems. And some bonus tips. I like to cut my interfacing about a 1/4 inch smaller than the garment fabric piece, because then it reduces the bulk around your seam. I don't always do that, but I definitely prefer, particularly if you're working with something slightly heavier and if your interfacing is slightly heavy, or if you have a lot of pieces coming together, like a collar, you could have a lot of pieces coming together, in a very small place. So giving that little extra trim really does help with the bulk. And it's a great way to use interfacing is to support those stress points. Things like at your pocket where you're putting your hand in all the time, adding some interfacing there to prevent that constant wear and tear. Behind buttons, behind zippers, these are really great ways, areas that get stressed a lot, and interfacing really does help support and stabilize those areas. And try to be patient. After you're done pressing, let the piece sit there to cool completely. This is a thing that's very difficult for me. I always want to rip it up and head back into the sewing room. But you really, if you let it cool completely, it will adhere so much better. So try to be patient and let it stay there until it's completely cool. And interfacing has a grain line too. So when you place your fabric pattern on your interfacing, make sure that you pay attention to that grain line and you're lining it up on your interfacing as well. Otherwise, you're going to get twisting and it's just not going to play nice with your outer fabric. So it is very important to do that also. If you want to learn more about the order of construction for any garment, check out this video here. And remember, I also have a download of all those steps. Link is in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.